Well, we are talking now with Dr. Matt Spangler, University of Nebraska-Lincoln Extension Beef Genetics Specialist, and at the first State of Beef conference that was held in North Platte, Nebraska. And your topic was one that maybe we don't think about so much when it comes to rebuilding the cow herd, which has been the theme of this conference, is really getting a chance to look at the genetic makeups of not only those bulls but those cows.
Yeah, that's right. The thought is, can we maximize profitability by thinking about our breeding systems differently? And that's really maybe specializing in either developing replacement heifers, breeding those kinds of cattle, versus being a terminally only producer.
Well, as we look at that, I think many folks have found maybe the easy way out, if you will, on trying to stay in line, or what they believe is in front of the curve as this rapidly changing model has taken place.
Well, that's right. You know, the pervasive thought and tradition says that I can be all-purpose, and I can raise terminal calves, which means I sell calves at weaning, but then also keep back some fraction of heifers as replacements. And given antagonisms that exist between those two kinds of breeding objectives and the traits included in them, it actually could be more efficient to just solely designate yourself as being terminal and focusing on growth and carcass. Benefit there is that you have a narrower list of traits that you're worried about. Also, if you buy bred females, say bred cows coming with their second or later calf, you don't have to worry about calving heifers, and you leave all those kinds of tasks to another type of producer whose main business model is building those kinds of maternally oriented cattle.
How has that sort of an idea been received by the industry?
Well, we do see that some, but in much, much larger cow operations, and these are operations that may have upwards of 5,000 to 10,000 cows or more, where they actually subdivide the ranch and do both operations independently within their own firm. Where I think a large benefit is actually for smaller cow-calf producers, maybe those cattlemen that have less than 100 cows, in which case it may be in their best interest to actually purchase replacement females and only worry about producing market calves.
Interesting, some of the thoughts you had about, as you look at those females, to really seek out those that have those strong maternal traits. A lot of times we've been thinking about growth, or how to what we think is to find the best value, or find the biggest dollar.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when we think about selling calves, weight or growth potential certainly drives revenue. But if we're also keeping back replacement heifers, we have to realize that we might be increasing mature cow size over time, which inherently increases the maintenance energy requirements of the cow herd. So unfortunately, I think a lot of multi-purpose producers, if you will, actually shoot themselves in the foot.
Interesting comment. I want you to kind of extend your remarks when you said culling isn't necessarily selection. Kind of caught a lot of people's ears.
So I think a pervasive thought is that by simply culling the open cows every year, that somehow we're actually practicing selection for improved fertility. And actually my counter to that is we're getting rid of the very worst ones, which may or may not have been inferior genetically. Maybe there was an environmental influence that made them come open. Where we would be much better served is if we actually selected bulls that had exceptional genetic merit for fertility and used those. And so I view the latter, bull selection, as really where we can improve genetics. And simply culling open cows, I think, is a very wise management decision, but may not improve genetics as much as we might hope.
So again, the bottom line is bull selection is still the key.
Yeah, for our commercial producers out there, really taking full advantage of the exceptional genetics that we have, and doing that principally through bull selection is where they'll be able to reap the greatest benefits.
Dr. Spangler, always good to catch up with you.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Matt Spangler, University of Nebraska-Lincoln Extension. He is a beef genetics specialist. I'm Ken Rahjes. You're watching AgView.